Hello there again. Uh, Sorry for putting off what I intended to do for so long. I, well, it's too long to go into. I've been pretty sick the past few days. I think you probably noticed the last videos, but I think I'm pretty much over it now. There is one more little thing though I'd like to show you from this thing that confounded me for a couple of days. And everything probably would have confounded me in the past few days since I wasn't really much of a state to figure anything out. Anyway, I added some keys to move around in my little universe here. And here was the thing. Right now I'm moving down, as you probably noticed, along the green y-axis. Now I have different keys. Now I can move, I'm moving this way. I'm reducing my, the redness. That's it. I'm moving along Z. Okay. So eventually the green, yellow, or the green one in the middle, that's the y-axis, is gonna, now I'm staring up the y-axis. Now if I go one more, watch what happens. See that? You see? It changed sides. And I thought, that must be doing something wrong. That doesn't seem right. But how could it be, a tiny change like that, and it would move like that? I can move back up. Show you closer. But actually, in fact, that would seem like a crazy thing that can't possibly be right until we move a little bit away from this y-axis. And now what I'm doing is I'm traveling along the blue. Okay, actually let me go to the other side. This side of the, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to move in forwards blue. That's the x-axis. Now you see what's happening there? As I pass the y-axis, that thing changed its position. Let me go up a little bit. And then in the other direction. See, now that explained to me this phenomenon. Oh yeah, here we go. You see? I get this closer to the middle. How do I do that? I'm stuck. Because the other thing that was happening was a very quick flip in the other direction. See? Like that. Okay. How do I do it? That's there. Yeah. Okay. Well, if I could get underneath that Y again, and have it like this. Okay, I don't know how to do it. Move down. Move up. Reset. Go down. Or I can go up. Okay, now. So before doing what I did before, I put this back and get underneath the green, and that's when this was happening. See? Same thing, but on a different side. But that all makes perfect sense again. If you're not right underneath it, and you're moving along the blue. Either side, either way you look at it, I move along the blue, right here. I'm not moving along the blue. I'm moving along the red. Now I'm moving along the blue. You can see that the way because of the way things are with this view, that sort of thing's going to happen because you're changing, because you're slightly on one side of one of the axes, right? And so you get this switch over, like what just happened there, appears instant, you know. But really, all that's happened is you pass the axis, and it goes to the other side relative to you. Now I can go out. And look at it from the top here. And you get the same sorts of things. This is moving along blue. And now the other thing that I didn't realize, the way I had it set up, is that here, this rotation, this is a world rotation, right? I thought that the world's rotating, right? And I'm in the world, and always looking from the same point of view from the original world, right? But that's not really what's going on. For one thing, I have a thing that lets me look at the mirror. See, I'm looking at the mirror. Or I can look, this is looking at the origin, it's looking at the mirror. But I can't be looking at, I am looking at the mirror now, right, sort of, although it's not in the middle, so how can I be really looking at it? And if it's rotating, if I'm looking at that mirror, why isn't my view changing as it moves around? And it's not that I'm looking at the mirror. This is looking at the mirror. This is looking at the origin. Mirror, origin, mirror. You see? the spot, the position that I'm looking at is just the position where the mirror started. And this is the position where the origin started. And since the origin doesn't change in a rotation, right, looking at the origin doesn't tell you anything about what your point of view is. But when you change to the mirror, you can see that the way that view thing is being set up is with Z always going into the page, and X always this way, and X, Y, Z always the same. So my viewpoint is unchanging with respect to some point of view, and this world moves around. These arrow keys are something else. I'm changing my view position, and the world is staying fixed, static. Anyway, the calm thing. Now I have it here. I deleted the what I had, and I'll just start over and I'll do it again. I'll put it here. So this is what I found online. First, let me show you where I found it. I should still have it probably on this side. Destined for trash. Yeah. All the places I put it, I know I put it. Yeah, it's gotta be in here. Very simple. Oh, here it is. Code project. Okay. Now it is very simple. Here is I put a joke in here. I don't know if anyone replied to it. Because he has this funny proof that 1 equals 2 m. Okay, so there's not much code. So I guess now if I extract that, it's usually easier to do it like this. Extract here. Okay. Now, a calm thing, again, involves, like everything else, a server and a client. Okay, just like the HTTP server thing, client thing, corresponding with my client, there had to be a server. Well, with COM, there's a client and there's a server, and the interfaces that are defined by COM, like Direct3D you're looking at, are called servers, and the client is someone who uses the server. But in this case, it's not an internet server, it's just that in that case it's serving graphics functionality. In some cases it might serve mathematics functionality. This here is serving two functions, cubing and squaring numbers. Okay, we don't need this file. Because we have a workspace, I'll just add it to the workspace. Get rid of this. Actually, we don't need anything, but I don't want to get rid of too many things. it takes a while to get through. It's written for version 6. I hope I said yes to all. Okay. Put these up here for now, so you can see. I might add something back there later. Okay. Now the first thing to do, as with anything you get from the internet, is to go and fix all of the compile settings that are going to be wrong. And I should get at least one DLL project in here, just for copying settings. This one? Some DLL. That one worked, right? Okay, copy these. So initially that's wrong. At least it doesn't conform with our convention. Okay. There's 2. Alright. That's wrong. Oops. Now we'll have to do one at a time. Okay, that's wrong. That is correct. General Windows Library debugging nothing. Preprocessor. Well, actually it shouldn't require any of these really for debug. There won't be any exports in COM. You don't export. There won't be any export file. So we don't need any of that stuff. Maybe Win32. Okay, now this is wrong. This should be the multi-tenant debug DLL. It has to be the DLL version always. And never use minimal rebuild. I always forget to set it. That's fine. Never use this, unless you're working on like a flight simulator or something. Okay, we will not right. It might figure out the rest of just on that basis. No. Actually, that was all. Gosh darn it. Yeah. Ground, no. linker. Alright, wrong again. Incremental, why? Or that probably doesn't matter. No, it's the same, right? No dependency, manifest. You know, I should have probably done this beforehand. Debug info. That's incorrect. The second one is incorrect. Can be true for all, even though it's not used in the second case. When it is used, sometimes you'll put debug info on temporarily release build if you're really in a bind, but it's usually useless. So it's there set up in case you do. Subsystem not set, that's fine. Okay, now we don't need this at all. But if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to be entered like this. The client would never compile, like I don't need to compile with a special lib in order to use Direct3D. That linkage occurs by something through the registry, not something that is built into the program. It's an external thing. Again, so a server client. Alright, that all looks okay. Manifest, and that's fine. Now, the first time I tried this, I tried build, and it just builds on the first go, with a lot of warnings that are easy to fix. Okay. I'm going to serve that def. No description not supported. Now, why is it not building? I know that all these things are in there. And it only built one file, conbase, which is nice. That's all. Why isn't it building one file? Well, something to do with that. Remember the file? Alright, well, give me a minute. Okay, I got it building, and I think I even got this I had to start over again. I knew that something happened with the conversion. It didn't work right. But it built, see? It's just got these, well, they're called warnings, but I would call them errors. Okay. So, unreferenced. Okay. Now, it built. What does that mean? Hang on a second. What it means is nothing, really, at this point. Let's just see if we can clean up here. Best just to look at this first. This is, again, no use. It exports four functions, and all column servers export these functions. They must be supported, and these are needed. These first two are needed to register or unregister the server. These are used by the system to query the server whether or not it can be unloaded from memory. That is, are there any more references? Is it hanging on to any references to anything? If not, then that allows the system to remove it from memory because it's not needed. Now the code is something that we'll look at later. But first, it is there. And what I did was, and what I'd like to do again, is I want to register it, but I want to print something out. So here I created a console, took my standard console, create console. There. I just want these lines and put them in here. We'll just assume success. We don't need any standard in. But we want to redirect standard out so we can use printf. Now, when I register the thing, I want it to print something. We can have it. This here is like a string. Register service. Okay. Well, we can have it print out The file name. Which is called path, max path, because that's the maximum. Correct. As you all know. Now, can we print this thing out? Is that a printable thing? No, this has a thing where you can turn it into a string. What else does it do with my printout? Well, it's just going to be this function. What? It's going to do that, and then it's going to go into here. Here's a thing we can print out, this buffer. You can print out everything that he's S-printing. So if that works, and we can also print this out, that unregistered. Same thing. Oh, maybe, no, that's okay. Well, unregistered object, we can print this stuff out. It's the same one, isn't it? Over and over again. I've got a macro. Oh, it's string cat. Buffer. So we don't need these two. That's setting up the registry. That would have been used already. Just want to get some feedback if it works. I did this last time because for a while it wasn't working, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And it turned out that you have to be an administrator. So we'll do this again. And what have I done wrong? Right. Okay, that made a DLL. I should be able to register it. SBR32 my serve. Okay. So here's the DLL name. Here's the CLS ID and improc 32. So there's something under this here in the registry now. We can look, see if it's there. DC18, and that's class ID. Call it local machine. Software class ID. Software classes. I'm going to search for that string. And that reg server program I ran with the /u switch unregisters the COM server. I used to have to run that all the time with SourceSafe. It would tend to die. So here it is. Okay, there's the DLL. Now it's called MineLib Math Object. Okay, whatever that means. Improc server, yeah, that's it. Program. So 2 sub keys and the main key and math object class. So there's a class here called math object. That's its friendly name. And you can make an instance of this class, and it has, apparently, you can cube and square numbers. Okay. Now, there's a second project to use the server. Ah, darn it! Now how did it? I messed that up. I'm sure I messed that up. Let's get rid of that for a sec. I just pressed enter. Enter is no good. You have to answer this question that says something and you have to say yes to all. Existing project. It didn't ask anything. First, okay. We're going to build. This first part will just be on seeing it go, hopefully, and then I'll try and break it down next time. Let's see. Print a number. Enter a number. Scan S. Okay. One of them validates, one doesn't. Okay. Now this should work. Even I'm not saying anything, I'm not explaining anything. And there's a bunch of unrecognizable syntax here. But besides that, it's not a lot of code, and we can go see it next time. This here initializes com. Now this is creating an instance of that object. Let's see, there's a lot hidden here. I couldn't get it working, and I tried a bunch of things, and so I split this up into the way that you usually do it, and I'd rather do it that way. It's more understandable. That came back with OK. Value 10. Enter number 5. Value is 5. Now this is a con call. If I press F8, you see where we are. We're in myserve DLL in the con, just like when we did our con thing. But this has gotten the DLL and everything out of the registry automatically using that special identifier. And you see it's taken the value and multiplied it by itself 3 times. And somehow well, it's in our process, so we're fine. Sometimes this is called an in-proc server. Sometimes you can have out-proc servers. And let's see. They cubed the number. Okay, now release. The release is supposed to release the memory, whatever memory it allocated. But as you can see, that it's got a bug and it hasn't initialized reference counts or anything. Very big mess. But that doesn't matter. The thing is, it works good enough. It cubed a number. We didn't, we didn't have to link with anything. We were able to retrieve through this co-create instance function using these identifiers. Okay, now this one is in here. That's this number. Okay, this is called an interface, which is similar to a class, and it has 2 methods, square and cube, and we happen to run the cube function. Alright, so that's the first step. Next step is to try to give an explanation. Okay, see you.